Cable Channel 6 would like to invite you to the round table.
Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable. My name is Paul Dingaman. I host these programs which appear in Marine City and St. Clair on Channel 6, Channel 902. Also now throughout northern Macomb and all of St. Clair County on Channel 12 and Channel 916. We welcome you to an on-the-scene location. This time we are visiting with the American Legion on Clinton Avenue in St. Clair. They've been doing an awful lot of work and changing some things, and we thought it was time for us to stop in and meet the group and have them bring us up to date. So we're glad you're here. Let's meet the commander, Dave Gardner. Welcome to the round table, sir. And we certainly do have a round table. And Dave is the commander of Post 382. Sitting next to him is Dave Robinson, the adjutant of the American Legion Post 382. And down on the end, we've got Mr. Todd Bigger, the squadron adjutant of the Squadron 382. Thanks for the invitation, gentlemen. It's an honor to be here, and it's been an institution in St. Clair, the American Legion, for numbers of decades. You told me before we started it was like 1944 when the American Legion started in St. Clair. What has been happening? What's going on right now here at the American Legion?
Well, what we're doing right now, Paul, is that we're starting some programs that we kind of abandoned over the years. So we're trying to get back as to the taking care of our veterans, starting programs in the community to help the, the community service organizations here that need help and everything. So these programs we've instituted this year, we're trying to get them back. We're having the dinners on every third Friday and the breakfast, the third Sunday after the dinner. And all this money right now has been like going into the building that we're trying to get back up. But after December of this year, we're starting to put it back into community services for the community here in St. Clair.
Tell me about the American Legion. Since 1944, it's been active. As we all know, all the service organizations, the Lions, the Kiwanis, the rest of them all have had declining numbers. Is that the same thing that's been happening in the American Legion?
It has been over the years because of our World War II veterans and the Vietnam veterans. We're losing a lot of them. We've lost like a third of the Vietnam veterans already.
Wow.
And they said within the year 2015, the other 2/3 that were in country will be gone for those periods. And right now there's a House bill in Congress. It's 4571, which would allow members that were during the Cold War. These were dates where there was no war going on, no conflict. So they figured that the people that were in the country at that time were taking care of our tanks and our equipment and everything, keeping them ready for in case we did have a war. So if this bill passes, we'll be able to start getting more people back in. And usually right after the conflicts like Afghanistan and Iraq, a lot of the young people coming back, they're not ready to come back in right now. I mean, they're resuming the life with their family, trying to put that back together and everything else. And that's why you really have a declining membership and everything. But so far, our posts, we went from 119 to 130 plus.
That's wonderful.
Because of the work that's going on here.
That's wonderful. How long have you been commander, Dave?
I've been commander at this post for 7 years. I got elected, 7 years ago, and it just seems like it went by fast. 7 years, and I've been active with this post and many other of the organizations in St. Clair County.
And it must be rewarding to see this new spirit, this revitalization that's going on in this post.
It is. I'll tell you, I've got a wonderful group of veterans that are here now. They're really active. The first few years I was commander, it was kind of low. Nobody wanted to do anything. We are on the move now.
Okay. We're going. Later on, we're going to go and have a tour of the facility and see what happens. But talk to me about where the American Legion is and what younger people like Todd, how they become involved.
Well, I'll tell you, Todd's been a lot of help to me because we come in here, there's like a lot of, we had no communications, no anything else going on, and the people didn't know what was happening. So when we had our Veterans Day program here, a lot of the guys that come back in, they were older guys. We've had members that have never been here. One guy was a life member, come back in and said this was his first time here. And Todd and I and the younger people like Dwayne, with the communications, and we've taken all the pictures off the wall and put them on the TV. We tried to get like, a little bit high tech and make it, nicer for the people in here and provide services. And we've also sent another guy to service school to help Charlie Oles out because Charlie's getting old and we want to have somebody here that knows what's going on when people come in and need help or information about the VA.
What does a returning veteran, what are some of the benefits of being a member of the American Legion? What can they gain?
Well, by coming here and being a member, if you need help or there's any problem you have with the VA, we're like an ombudsman to help you get there to take care of things. And we also have access to Deborah up in Port Huron. And, she's she's going to come here. She's going to be here the second Tuesday of next month. So if we have veterans or something, that would need to be here to find out what kind of benefits they have, what they're able to get, she'd be more than happy to talk to them. And, they can go through us and we can help them. We can't tell you what you're going to get. We have to, refer you to a district service officer, and then they are the people that fill out the paperwork for them.
Who qualifies to become a member of the American Legion? Is it only Marines? Is it only Navy? Is it, what is the breakdown?
Well, for the breakdown for that, we have this thing here. It's like these are the world, the wars that you have to be in, and these are the times. So anybody that's really in, and if you have a national defense badge, you're more than qualified to be a member. That is one like the prerequisites. When I look at a DD 214 form and I see a national defense ribbon, I know that the person was in during a time, a conflict or a war. So I have no trouble with most of those. There are other discharges that we have to look at, that we have to go through to see when a person was in. And in the adjutant's manual, they give the dates and times or who's eligible and who's not, just by the type of discharge that we have. And then if I have any other trouble, we have an adjutant that's district. I can call him, and he will inform me if the guy can be a member or not.
One of the qualifications that a lot of gentlemen don't know when they come home from service is to join this organization. The Legion says you only have to be on active duty 24 hours and be on a charge, and you can qualify to become a member of the Legion.
24 hours.
You have to have at least 24 hours of active duty, because you could go in and in the first 24 hours, they could find something physically wrong
Right.
with you. It's not your fault, but as long as they give you an honorable discharge, or as long as it's under honorable conditions, you can join the American Legion.
How about the group of people who were in the National Guard for 6 months, never really served anywhere overseas or anything?
You have to be on active duty.
Well, let me qualify that. What he's trying to say is that if any of these guys were in during April 6, 1917 to November the 11th, 1918, and he was on active duty, say he was a reservist going through training, well, he would be eligible. You have to do your training
On active duty.
while during the active duty time periods. Now, if you were a reservist and you were just doing drill dates, that wouldn't count. Yes, but as long as you were doing active duty during those dates, you're qualified to be a Legion member.
Okay. But there is another way to become a Legion member, and that leads us to Mr. Bigger. And that is a new group which was founded in 2011 by Dave, right? And Dwayne. And it is called the Sons of the American Legion. And Todd, you're involved in that. Tell me about your involvement.
Right. Well, we'll start historically first. It existed before here. They brought it here.
Okay.
So the Legion saw a need for the Sons, and in 1932, they created a program that started the Sons. And at that time, they had a small membership that started to build. But by 1953 and after the war, just like the membership in the Legion, there was a break there because most of the Sons had gone into the military. And when they returned, there wasn't as much of a need for them. They could go into the Legion eventually. So that number began to drop. But by 1963, the membership had risen to 17,000.
Wow.
So it was on an upswing. Later on, by this point now, we are at a membership of about 370,000 in the United States.
Wow.
So the members of the Sons have been around for quite a while, new to the St. Clair Post. We are called the Squadron. We are under the post, but we function very similar as far as duties and responsibilities.
So it's a new organization. What are my qualifications in order to become a son of the American Legion?
First of all, you need to be a son or a grandson. Your parent, or grandfather had to serve, grandmother, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, had to have served in the military.
Okay.
And if that's the case, you provide to us a DD 214 that Dave mentioned earlier, which is verification of their dismissal from the service during the times mentioned. And if they meet those that criteria, then they are members.
Why would I want to become a son of the American Legion?
You know, that's the question that I had to ask myself because I'm new to it as well. I think because it's a volunteer organization that supports the country, families, military people. It stands for a lot of what I believe. Their main points on the star, there's a logo that we have, mentions patriotism, citizenship, discipline, leadership, and legionism. And those are all very important. You know, I believe in all of those, and I believe that we have a responsibility to keep it going.
Okay. What kinds of functions does the two, are you two groups merged now?
We don't look at it as merged. We function together. Our goal is to share as much as we possibly can, whether it's helping out at lunches or breakfasts or dinners, supporting what they're doing for special programs, or they're supporting us. We see it as we're here for each other, but yet we are operating separately.
Okay.
So our goal is to be as close as possible.
Well, you've got a bunch of activities that are coming up that we're gonna talk about. But why don't we take a little break now, and I'll go across the way here, and we'll talk to Dwayne Delore about what kind of improvements you've made in the building in the last few years. Can you give me an idea how old the building is?
I think this building was built about 1954, 55, when this building here was. They originally were downtown on the main street, and when they did the remodeling down here, they
That was
moved
in the
them out
60s.
here. Yeah, they moved them out here.
before.
Well, Todd can tell you, because he looked it up in the phone book today. Todd, what looked it up?
I went to the museum where I'm also involved,
Yes.
and the history, as far as the books were able to tell me, is that during the 40s they were located just north of the bowling alley,
Okay.
and by
On the water.
on the water, and by 1956 they popped back up here at this address on Clinton Avenue. So there was a little time period in between that the building down there ceased, and that this was built and they moved in, which is interesting because they've just added 2 new windows on the outside. And on a program I did last week on Crawford, Sam Crawford and his paintings, we were looking at his etchings, and it shows this building with the 2 windows that were formerly in there, which now have been replaced. So, you know, the history does tie in,
Yeah.
and it's one that's been important and around for at least 50 years.
Well, we now established that the building's been here for quite a while, so let's see what kinds of improvements have taken place. With me now is Dwayne. Dwayne, that's a little different pronunciation. Delore, and you are responsible for making all the changes, huh?
Yes.
What kinds of changes have taken place?
We did quite a bit in this room here. It was all paneling, and it was kind of discolored from the smoke and stuff, and we decided to come through and re-drywall, new ceiling, and put this nice wainscoting all the way around, and we just keep working at it. Now we put new tables and chairs in, whole new bar, front and back, and we just want to keep going at it as long as we can.
It's probably a smoke-free environment now.
Yes, it is.
And so all the new paint and the ceiling and everything will stay fresh for a much longer period of time.
We sure hope so. It was quite rough before.
Oh, I can imagine it was. Let's talk about this bar that you and I are leaning on. We'll get some shots of it later, but what is in the top here?
The top of the bar is all done out of oak that we've had sealed, and we put all the patches and glued them down, and we've put some polyurethane on it, and we need to put a few more coats on, but that's virtually what it is right now. I mean, it is all oak bar, and we're just working at getting it finished up.
Where are the patches from? Who donated the patches?
The patches have been donated from all the veterans from all over. Members of the post, members that are non-members have brought patches in because they heard what we were doing to the top of the bar and wanted to be a part of it.
Okay, now, next door, that room there is more of a party room or a banquet kind of facility. How many people can you seat in it? Talk to me about that room.
Right now, we can seat about 130 people in there comfortably with our banquet tables set up. Hopefully, within a few years, we could maybe be able to get a few more people in there. We've put all new ceiling in. We've lowered the ceiling, new drywall, painted, and we're in the midst right now of doing all the nice wainscoting all the way around.
You have a kitchen facility? Talk to me about that.
Yes, we do. We have a small kitchen facility, and the kitchen has come alive last year and a half. We started doing breakfast, or we've been doing dinners here, and we started doing breakfast, so we've brought that back quite a long ways. That's helping us do what we're doing right now.
So if I'm going to rent the facility, is that a possibility?
Yes, it is.
And can I bring my own food people in, or do I have to use your food people, or how's all that work?
Nope, you can rent the hall, the banquet room, and you can bring your own food people in, and when you rent the hall, they can use the kitchen at the same time.
Okay.
So you can bring in whoever you want, a caterer, and cater the food.
So how much work do you have left on the facility? Tons?
Yes, we still have quite a bit to go. We need to have the hall done by Friday this week because the hall is rented through the weekend and partially into next week. So
That's a very good incentive.
yes, so we're kind of on the push right now to get that done, and then we want to start with a few other projects, but they're going to have to be down the line a little ways.
So it's been a labor of love.
Yes, it has.
It's probably so rewarding to be able to come in and see how much nicer it looks and feels than it did 5 years ago.
Oh, yes, a big difference. I've been coming here since I've been 5 years old, and I remember when the walls were all cement block.
Oh,
And the windows that you see, I remember all the old windows being in here. So it's come a long ways since I was 5.
you look pretty good for a guy 23.
Thank you.
Mr. Delore, thank you much. You gave me a nice tour there, and you did a great job. We'll go back and talk to the fellows on the round table now. Very impressive facility. It certainly has changed. It's fresh. The word you used before was revitalized, and I think the whole feel of the building is that way, and even outside. What did you guys do outside? I forgot to ask.
Well, the one, he cleared out all the bushes over there, made it more, and added more parking space. We brought in gravel because we didn't have enough parking room for everybody that was coming in for the dinners. So everything out there has been cleaned, fixed up, the trees cut down.
A new sign out in front.
Yes, yes. The old sign we had, people would come by and they would pass it, and they would call, like, where are you located? So we'd have to tell them, well, you got to come back across the railroad tracks, and then you're here. So this sign, we put it up, and it's been one of the greatest things that's helped us for our breakfast and dinners. It's been really great.
Okay, you've got a number of activities that are coming up. Let's go through those. Who wants to start?
Do you mind if I do, Dave?
Go ahead.
I'd like to start off by saying 2 programs that we've done as a new organization or new membership here is a car show and a chicken dinner, and both very well received, and we're definitely going to carry those out in the future
You did this last year?
within the past 3 months.
Okay.
So we're looking forward to carrying that on to the next year. We're also looking for the future to do themed dinners, which will vary a little bit from what the Legion is doing, but tying in some of the different cultures and having food, different types of food for people to come and enjoy. We're also working on a Summer Sizzler ticket raffle that tickets will be available as soon as we hear back from the state. It's an application process.
What is a summer sizzler?
It's going to consist,
Is that a hamburger or a?
it's a large bundle of meat.
Oh,
And we're going to have a grill and meat raffle each month.
oh my God.
So the winner would receive a grill and the food packet, or food bundle, actually.
That'll sell well.
Yeah, it's a great package.
The problem, and that is a very unique one, and the problem is now there's so many groups that are selling tickets on this, that, and the other thing, and you have a lot of the sameness, and this is certainly not that.
Oh, no, no, and we're looking forward to doing it in May, June, July, August, and September to hit the outdoor months so the families that receive
Yeah.
this prize can really enjoy it during that warm
Yeah,
season.
good.
We're also just in the planning stage and hoping to work more with the Legion on their different projects.
All right, so what have you got going for us?
Well, coming up the 18th for our December breakfast, we're going to have breakfast with Santa, and Dave Midley's going to be our Santa. We're going to have it set up in here for the kids, and we're going to pass out candy and, things like that, just a bag of candy and different things for the kids that day with Santa.
Okay, what was the times on that?
The times will be from, 8 o'clock until 12.
Okay, all right. And we also talked about a couple other programs. One was called the Super Trooper and the Little League. And kids? What are those?
We had the, let's see, I'm lost for words here. We had the Dwayne Williams Scholarship Fund.
Right.
And we're putting money away each month for that. So I think there's gonna be around maybe 2 scholarships of $500.
Wonderful.
For students that are going to college or whatever this year. And then the Super Trooper is for somebody that's thinking about a career with the state police. There's a 2-week program that we pay for, that they go up there and they're with the state police.
What age group is that?
We're talking the seniors in high school.
I think they gotta have a driver's license.
Okay.
And the Little League, we're planning on this year, this is the first time that we've been able to help out. We plan on giving them, giving a donation of $300 this year to the Little League.
Wonderful. And you also mentioned that wonderful organization, Kids in Distress.
Oh, thank you. For our breakfast too, for the December breakfast, we're making a $500 donation to the Kids in Distress for the breakfast.
In case people want to get a hold of you, do you have a website? Do you have phone numbers? Give me all that information.
As we jump into this, the membership is an area that Dave and I are both available for contacting. Dave for the American Legion, myself for the Sons of the American Legion. But we're also beginning to take names of interested women who are interested in the Women's Auxiliary. We're getting people who are coming in who are sharing that they're ready to get one started up, and I know the Legion is more than ready to support such a program.
Would the Women's Auxiliary be under the Sons organization or the American Legion?
Comes under the Legion, just like the Sons. The Legion is can we say like the father group, and then you have your sons and you have your auxiliary. They all come under, they're an auxiliary part of the Legion. They're a support element for us.
Okay.
They help us raise money, they help us with our benefits. So that's actually what they are. They're a support element for us, and they get involved. Now, this post here, we've started it hasn't been done in years. We want this to be a family group. We want the guys to be able to come down there with their wives, their children, and enjoy the post.
Good, good. Okay.
Okay.
Phone numbers and a website.
Okay, we have a Facebook that Dave Gillis takes care of, and our website is Fulton Post 382 at att.net.
Okay.
And the phone number here, I forget, what's the name of it's what?
I just had to ask it for it the other day. I had to call
Well,
up
we'll
there.
tell you what, we'll put it up on the screen so they don't have to worry about that.
Okay, we'll-
You were going to mention something else.
What I was saying that is with the auxiliary, there are more people that can be in the auxiliary than there are in the Sons, because you can have mothers, wives, daughters, sisters, granddaughters, great-granddaughters, and grandmothers of people that were in the service. And if, the person was not a member of our Legion here, and their parents still served in the wars listed, they're still eligible to be members.
Okay. All right.
So,
You were talking about some of the things that the Post does here. We open our Post up, it's free to the Blue Star mothers, and they come here on, I think it's the first Wednesday of every month, and then they come in on the weekends, and they package a lot of packages and send them to the troops overseas.
That's
So
wonderful.
we've been supporting them
Wonderful
and
work.
they've been supporting us, so it all, it's all hand in
Oh,
hand.
right. Pat?
The, one more thing about membership. I was fortunate enough to be able to pick up a dual membership, so I'm a member of the Legion, but I'm also a member of the Sons. And the Sons is where I'm focused at this time. So I think it's important that people know that it's possible to do both as well. and we welcome everyone.
Have we missed anything?
I think you pretty well covered everything, Paul. I think we've got the members, the programs that are going on, and the new legislation that they're trying to pass, so we've covered just about everything. And like I said, we'll put the number up on the screen, and people have any questions, they can call us, and we'll get back with them.
Well, I say this a lot on the air, but we do salute you. You certainly have served the country and served the community of St. Clair, and you continue to serve. So that's wonderful. Thank you for inviting us. We're certainly glad that you gave us this opportunity. Todd, did you have something else?
No, thank you very much. Thank you
All right.
for coming.
That's about it for this edition of the Roundtable. Thanks very much for tuning in. As we said at the top of the show, Roundtable appears on Marine City and St. Clair's cable channel 6, also now on channel 12 and channel 916 from northern Macomb and Selfridge Air Force Base all the way over to Romeo and all of St. Clair County. Till next time, I'm Paul Dingerman, and thanks very much for tuning in.